Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Confidence. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Pedro. Today we're talking about something super important, goals. You know, those things we set but sometimes forget about by February.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's so true. But before we dive in, let me ask you, Pedro, what's one goal you actually achieved that you're really proud of?
You know what? Learning to cook. I used to live on takeout and instant noodles, but I set a goal to cook one new recipe every week for 6 months.
That's amazing.
And now I can make a mean pasta carbonara. The key was making it small and consistent, you know?
Exactly. And that's actually perfect advice for our listeners who are learning English. You don't have to say, I'm going to be fluent in 3 months.
Right.
Maybe start with, I'm going to learn 5 new words this week, or I'm going to have one conversation in English every day.
Oh, that's so much better. Speaking of conversations, Gabby, what's a goal you're working on right now?
Well, this might sound silly, but I'm trying to read one book every month. I used to be a huge reader as a kid, but life got busy and I just stopped.
That doesn't sound silly at all.
I started in January with short books like young adult novels because they're easier and more fun. And you know what? I'm actually on track.
That's brilliant. And that's another great tip for English learners. Start with easier materials. Don't jump straight into Shakespeare.
Exactly.
Maybe try graphic novels or books you've already read in your native language, or even children's books. There's no shame in that.
Oh, I love that idea. Actually, that reminds me of something important about goals. They should be SMART goals. Pedro, do you know what SMART stands for?
Specific, measurable, and then I get lost.
Close. It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So instead of saying, I want to improve my English, try, I want to learn 50 new vocabulary words in the next month by studying 10 minutes every weekday.
Oh, wow, that's way more specific.
Right. It tells you exactly what you're doing, how much, when, and how to measure success. You can actually check off each day. Did I study for 10 minutes? Yes or no?
I love that. And you know what else I think is super important? Celebrating small wins. Like when you learn those 5 new words, don't just move on to the next thing. Hey, I did it! I learned these words! Maybe treat yourself to your favorite coffee or watch a fun YouTube video.
Yes, that's so important. Our brains need that positive reinforcement. It's like training a puppy. You need to give rewards for good behavior.
Exactly. But what about when you mess up? Because let's be real, we all skip days sometimes or forget to study or get distracted by Netflix.
Netflix is my weakness too.
Right. The key is not to throw away the whole goal just because you missed one day. It's like if you're walking upstairs and you trip on one step, you don't go back to the bottom.
That's such a good analogy. You just get back up and keep going. And actually, that's where having a study buddy or accountability partner can really help. Find someone else who's learning English, or even just a friend who supports your goals. Check in with each other once a week. How did your English study go this week?
And if you both missed some days, you can encourage each other instead of feeling guilty alone. It's like having a workout partner, but for language learning.
Perfect comparison. Now, let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people, perfectionism. Pedro, have you ever set a goal and then quit because you weren't perfect at it? And you know what's really interesting about that workout partner analogy? It actually brings up something super important, the psychology of habits. Pedro, have you ever noticed how some goals just stick while others don't?
Oh my God, yes. I tried to learn guitar once, and after 2 weeks, I still couldn't play a full song, so I just gave up. I thought I was terrible. Oh, absolutely. Like, I somehow managed to make coffee every single morning without thinking about it. But remembering to practice Spanish? That lasted maybe 3 weeks.
But 2 weeks? That's nothing for learning an instrument. Exactly. And there's actually science behind why that happens. Coffee became automatic because you linked it to something you already do, waking up. But Spanish practice was just floating out there with no anchor.
I know that now, but at the time, I had this idea that I should be good right away. And that perfectionism kills so many goals before they even have a chance to grow.
That's so true for English learners, too. People get frustrated because they make grammar mistakes or their pronunciation isn't perfect. Exactly. It's called habit stacking. Like, after I pour my coffee, I will review 5 Spanish words on my phone. Or for English learners, after I brush my teeth, I will practice English pronunciation for 2 minutes.
Right. That's brilliant, because brushing teeth is already automatic, so it becomes like a reminder. What are some other good anchor habits for English learning?
But here's the thing, making mistakes is literally how we learn. Every mistake is your brain figuring out the difference between right and wrong. Oh, so many. After I sit down for lunch, I will read 1 paragraph in English. After I start my car, I will listen to English audio for my commute. After I open my laptop for work, I will write 1 sentence in my English journal.
I love that perspective. So instead of, I made a mistake, I'm bad at English, try, I made a mistake, I learned something new today. I love how specific those are, and they work with different lifestyles too. Speaking of that, something I've noticed is that people have totally different learning preferences. Some people are morning learners, others are night owls.
Exactly. And you know what else helps? Making your goals visible. Write them down somewhere. You'll see them every day. That's such a good point. I'm definitely a morning person. My brain is like a sponge before 10 a.m., but by evening, forget it. I can barely remember my own name, let alone learn new vocabulary.
Oh, like on your bathroom mirror? Ha, I'm the opposite. I'm useless in the morning, but around 8 p.m., suddenly I'm ready to conquer the world. So for our listeners, pay attention to when you feel most alert and focused. That's your golden hour for learning.
Perfect. Or on your phone wallpaper or a sticky note on your laptop, somewhere that reminds you every day why you started this journey. And it's not just about time, it's about how you learn best, too. Some people are visual learners who need to see words written down. Others are auditory and learn better by listening to podcasts or conversations like this one.
And speaking of why you started, that's huge. When things get tough, and they will, remember your why. Maybe you want to get a better job, or travel, or connect with English-speaking friends. Exactly. And then there are people who learn by doing, kinesthetic learners. They might learn vocabulary better by writing it out by hand, or practice pronunciation by actually having conversations, even if it's just talking to themselves in the mirror.
That's your motivation. The key is to experiment and figure out what works for you, not what works for someone else. Actually, that reminds me, Pedro, what do you think is the biggest mistake people make when setting English learning goals?
Whatever your reason is, write it down too. And on days when you don't feel like studying, read that note and remember why this matters to you. Oh, that's easy. They try to do everything at once, like, I'm going to improve my grammar, and my vocabulary, and my pronunciation, and my listening skills all in the same week. It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle.
Before we wrap up, let's give our listeners 3 practical steps they can take right now to set better English learning goals. Pedro, what's your first tip? That's such a perfect analogy. Your brain gets overwhelmed and then you end up doing nothing well. It's better to focus on one area for a few weeks, build that habit, and then gradually add more.
Start small and be specific. Instead of get better at English, try learn 10 new words this week or watch one English YouTube video every day for 2 weeks. Right. Like maybe this month is vocabulary month, where you focus just on learning new words. Next month could be listening month, where you work on understanding spoken English, one thing at a time.
Perfect. Number 2, track your progress somehow. It could be a simple calendar where you mark off each day you studied, or a journal where you write one sentence about what you learned. And speaking of focus, let's talk about something practical, using technology to help with your goals. Pedro, do you use any apps or tools to track your progress on things?
And number 3, be kind to yourself when you mess up. Missing one day doesn't mean you failed. Just start again tomorrow. I do. I use a simple habit tracker app where I can check off daily goals. There's something so satisfying about seeing all those green check marks building up over time. It's like a visual representation of your progress.
Those are fantastic tips. And remember, everyone, learning English is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the process, celebrate your wins, and keep moving forward. I love that dopamine hit from checking things off, but it doesn't have to be fancy. Even a simple paper calendar where you draw an X for each day you practiced English can be incredibly motivating. Some people prefer the physical act of writing.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening to English with Confidence. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend who's also learning English. And for English learning specifically, there are so many great tools. Vocabulary apps that send you daily words, pronunciation apps that can actually listen to how you speak, even browser extensions that highlight new words while you're reading online.
And let us know in the comments what's one English learning goal you're going to set this week. We'd love to cheer you on. But here's the thing. Don't download 20 different apps. Pick 1 or 2 that you actually enjoy using. The best tool is the one you'll actually use consistently, not the one with the most features.
See you next time, and remember, you've got this.